Alright, I need to be very careful to not get disconnected, but there is a massive queue. Fellowship is currently at the highest peak it has ever been at, which is 40,000 players, which is absolutely exceptional. I love this game. I think it may genuinely be my favorite game of all time, contending with Guild Wars 1, World of Warcraft, Skyrim, and Fallout 4, and then Guild Wars 2. And because it's got a mixture of basically everything. Just about everything. This game is fucking fantastic. So, I am going to do an early, for fun, completely meme tier list. Because I get asked multiple times, thoughts on characters, builds, thoughts on characters. It happens a lot. So, I want to go through and just make one for fun. Now, I'm playing in low contender keys. I am playing with viewers. So I'm not a Paragon player yet. I've made it to T100 fractals in Guild Wars 2, so I will get to Paragon eventually. But I'm not rushing my way to the end. I'm playing with the boys, having a good time and vibing. You will probably see... Is my friend code still on screen? I'm pretty sure it is, right? So, right over here. Somewhere here. Right here. If you're watching this, feel free to add me in-game. Go to add friend, paste that in underneath. And otherwise, I will be streaming on Twitch, streaming keys, most likely, which the link for that will be in the description. And I'm rotating people through all the time, so if you can't find any games, or you can't get into a queue, or, fucking whatever you want to do, feel free to come swing by and have a good time. So, with that being said, what's your peak? In Fellowship? I think, like, mid-adept, but that was during, Next Fest. And I was focusing on getting content for, like, covering all characters. So, we're going to do a very early, very, very, very early, very low gear tier list. So, we're going to do just like in Guild Wars 2. Well, fuck me, I guess. Just like in Guild Wars 2. I don't actually know where I'm going to put these. The last time I did this, I knew where I was going to put things. I haven't actually thought about it. So we've got S, A, B. Wait, no. No, hang on. S, A, mid, and yikes. You'll have to forgive my terrible MS Paint skills. And no, I haven't heard of Tier Maker. More fun this way. Okay. So, with that being said, where do we start? Somebody pick a hero. Somebody pick a hero. Are we going down this way? Or across? Someone give me something to work with. I'm dying for this game. I was already talking about WoW with my kids a couple weeks ago. My favorite time was during Wrath, just queuing for heroics, collecting tokens to buy gear, and then I found out about this. Yeah, this is fucking fantastic. I love it. Do you want me to start with Mara? Okay. I think she is in... This is tough, because I think she's in... If we're talking early game, the thing is that this... I'm gonna have to make a lot of tier lists, aren't I? Okay, well, tier lists are like one of the most viewed things, so for whatever reason, sure. Yeah, everyone wants an opinion. So, I am gonna put Mara in mid-tier. Now, for two reasons. Well, okay, three reasons. One, the Maras I have played with in the past 32 hours of streaming this game across 2 days. I don't have a problem, you have a problem. Don't know how to play her correctly just yet, because we're all new players still. I kind of know what I'm doing with her, sort of, enough to be able to pull off a couple of reasonable pop-off builds, but those pop-off builds required reasonable gear and all of my talents. So she's not particularly great to start off with, because she requires a lot of haste if you want to play like Assassination Rogue style, with, what is this? You want to play Assassination Rogue with Hemo Strike, then you need a bunch of haste. There's a little bit of micromanagement with the Widow's Bite that you want to keep on a higher health target, like the poison, to keep your energy regen ticking. And then, if energy comes back faster, she'd fuck. She does get energy back insanely fast once you get gear, and then if you add haste on top of that, she starts to get very, very good. Like, you can be perma, like, max energy relatively often. But, like I said, you need to basically invest, like, I don't know, 5 hours. You need a day's worth of gameplay on her to get to the point that she's playable, which is not a bad investment, by all means. You'll have a good time. She's carbon copy, self-insert of someone's Blood Elf Rogue. You can see it in the stealth animation. When you first start playing her, she feels exceptionally boring, which is also a downside, because when you're playing her really early on, it feels like Skittering Blades, Arachnid Assault, Skittering Blades, Arachnid Assault, Skittering Blades, Arachnid Assault, Skittering Blades, Pop Mark for Death, Bleed Everything, Arachnid Assault. And then, you know, in between that, you mix in Vanish Skittering Blades, and then Vanish Widow's Bite. And, like, that's your AoE rotation for, like, you can do just that and pull, like, 20k plus. So she scales well, so she's going to suck at the start of a season. She's a rogue, so she takes practice and skill. So that's a difficult thing for, you know, people across the board, unfortunately. And then, yeah, it requires a bunch of haste and requires all talents to really start to pop off. Whereas if you play other stuff, you can just pick it up and go and pump pretty fucking hard. That being said, she is really fun, and I'm going to have a very good time playing her. And Mara, actually, the one final thing I'll end off with her is that I think that she can be exceptionally good at something she cannot do. And what I mean by that is that she's an exceptionally good single target killer. You can probably put a lot of damage into bursting single targets and playing a subtlety rogue style. However, doing something like that looks like trolling on the DPS meter. Because, for example, we have been one-shot perpetually by fucking ball lightning, right? If we had a Mara playing sub-rogue dedicated to killing high-priority targets, and her job in that pack was to burst both of those singular targets with single-target rotations, she's carrying. She's stopping us from getting one-shot. But on the DPS meter, she's getting fucking memed by anyone playing an AoE build, stonking on the entire pack. She's making sure we don't get one-tapped and doing her job absolutely correctly and perfectly and saving us, but it looks like she's trolling. Now, if you're playing in solo queue, we can't kick people yet, thankfully, but they'll find a way. They'll find a way. So, that's something I don't really see talked about all that much, is that she does have very good single-target capability. However, single-target capability doesn't transition to the damage meter, and the damage meter is how people interpret if you're useful. So, there is not enough single-target scenarios in this game to make Mara feel good in that aspect. This is going to be a long tier list. Okay. Next. Who's next? Dwarf? He was in Yikes tier before. Has he been upgraded? I'm already getting dislikes on the build guide, so maybe I put him in Yikes just to piss him off. Fuck. Is he still the only one in Yikes tier? I was a tell for the rest of the fucking tier list, but I think he's the only one in fucking Yikes tier, and I know I'm gonna, like, eat shit for this, but, like, this is a personal opinion. This is, like, if you know me, it's kind of an advantage that he's in Yikes tier, because I, for whatever reason, like to play the most dog shit character. The most. Just a fucking ego, I guess. But, my god, my guy's a struggle. Vigor is trying his best. Yeah, basically. So, Vigor, you have to do 3 times the work for half the result of what Sylvie can do while walking in a straight fucking line. Right? Now, this is the thing. Early game Vigor feels like absolute dog shit. Absolute turbo giga dog shit. Because to make him effective, you need to get some of your talents, which requires you to play a few dungeons. So your first few dungeons, you're going to play him and you're going to be like, because that's exactly what I did. And then you get to talent row 2, and you get the 1-pointer node that makes it so your greater heal becomes flash heal, and all of a sudden, he's playable. However, at that point, you've probably started to realize his very, very brutal mana issues. And what's even worse is, so now you have a upgrade to make flash heal feel better so that your healing actually feels better across the board. However, since it increases your cast speed, that means you can churn out more of them. Because you can churn out more of them means you're using more of them, means you're using more mana, which means they're making the fucking problem worse. Now, that being said, he's also a mixture. He's a mixture of Holy Paladin, Holy Priest, and Discipline Priest. And I love all of that except for Discipline Priest. Whoever thought in Legion to make Discipline Priest into a hybrid DPS needs to lose a job in game design. You fucking ruined one of my favorite things. You suck. If I get the... what's it called? If I get the Atonement Legendary, if I push him to Paragon, I will scrap it on sight on principle. You can hold me to that. I will not play Discipline Priest. I hate that shit. It sucks. So I'm not gonna sit here and like play him like, oh, I'm gonna Shadow Word Pain this thing and then fucking Dawn Flare this thing and Shadow Word Pain this thing, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing that build. If you want to play it, if that's an S tier build, congratulations, love you. Pop off in Paragon King. I will not be doing it. I will be playing Sylvie instead. If that is his meta build that you have to play or you get kicked from groups sort of ordeal. So he is fun. I love playing Priest, I love playing Paladin, but the other problem is you run into the Vigor issue, is what I'm calling it, which is you have one rune, okay? You have one rune, you want to pre-shield the tank so he can pull like a psychopath. If you put the one rune on the tank, you now have no runes that you can't use to apply your Rune of Renewal. The Rune of Renewal, you have to hard heal with the upgraded Greater Heal to get your runes back, unless you want to sit there and Dawn Flare a mob like a fucking retard, alright? So, now you're in a scenario where you're just cooked either way. You either apply the buff when he's, you either apply the buff to apply the buff and not get the healing value. You put the shield on him to then have to Dawn Flare something 5 times in a row while he's taking so much damage you can't afford to not press Greater Heal. And you lose on both counts, unless you sit there and you pre-Dawn Flare the last pack to be able to restore all your runes, or you use your Runic Prolift all the time to be able to, like, keep runes up. Now, with that being said, if I geared him more for Spirit and got a much higher percentage, you can get rune refunds and mana refunds on the, on Spellcast. That might make him feel better, but then that's for much, much, much better, or much, much, much higher tiers. Now, I have heard he is a high-tier monster who can shield the entire team, absorb the entire team, put fucking heal over time on the entire team. He seems crazy with gear and legendaries. So for a very early contender tier list, my man makes it into yikes. Because if you don't have all of his runes, I was trying to get the 120 weapon on him, thinking, okay, when I get the 120, or when I get the 90 and weapon and upgrade it to 120, he'll feel okay. I got that, still struggled, switched over to Sylvie at 8.8 eye level, walked in a straight line through a Stormwatch key and had no problem. So that's why our man lands in yikes tier. All on his own. Now, feel free to dispute me in the comment section. I am probably playing him wrong. But like I said, I am not playing Discipline Priest on principle. So, feel free to let me know why I'm doing everything wrong in the comments, because I'd like to play him correctly, provided there's a playstyle to make him feel like Holy Paladin or Holy Priest. And if there's not, I will invent one. Okay, next. Hard agree, still gonna play him. Respect, respect. Is the chat in the way of the MS Paint? Or no? Oh, it's over top of it. Fuck. We'll do that. Masochism, am I right? Exactly, yeah. Yeah, he's dog shit. I'm still gonna play him because, you know, makes it more fun. Next, the dog tank. The dog tank. Okay. Neither of them are bad. Neither of them are bad. It's very AoE dependent. It's very dependent on your party actually grouping up for AoE heals. No, oh, that's another thing. His fucking AoE in early game feels so bad. You have 2 AoE heals and then prayer. Like, unless I'm playing him wrong, like, you either need to have 4 runes some way, somehow, and have a rune of renewal on everybody, and then, like, rune again, I guess? Or, like, you have 2 AoE healing buttons, and it's a travesty. You have Radiant Blast and Circle. And Circle takes 128 mana, and Radiant Blast takes 48, but it heals for fucking nothing. So, the worst part is if you clip your fucking greater heal, you use 88 mana on the greater heal to clip it into a fucking 132 mana Circle of Light, and now you're Well, the monk makes Vigor feel easy. The monk makes both of them feel easy. But, I don't think she's better, though. Okay, we're doing tanks. We're doing Mako next. She was in S tier. Okay, so in the open beta tier list, the S tier was Mako Sylvie. Those two were absolutely crazy, because if you put these two together, you could make a walking sim. Which, as you guys saw with the video we just did of 2 Sylvies and a Mako, if we had gear, we could pull the entire fucking key. Entirely possible. So, that being said, though, I can't put her in S tier this time around. I have to put her in A tier. Because I know more now than I did last time. And she doesn't have the best button in the game, so she winds up in A tier. So, reason for this. She's still exceptionally good. She is absolutely crazy good. But she needs spirit on her gear to function, because she has her spirit bonus, her spirit trigger, makes it so that she gets 50% armor for 12 seconds on a refund. This is why, if you are playing her in low keys and you feel like you're dying or you're squishy, it's because you are. You don't have enough spirit to be able to trigger the 50% armor buff. However, you don't know the 50% armor buff exists until I've told you, because you didn't read the spirit window. If I'm right, like the video. So, with that, there's your first mistake, is that's not intuitive whatsoever. So, otherwise, she's exceptionally fun. However, she can make my hand hurt, because you have to do so many combos back to back to back to back to back, that straight up, if you play her for like, 5+ hours, my hand starts to cramp. She's fun. She's like, what if we made a Windwalker a tank? But she also has really nice self-healing. She's very, very, very good for that, which is why I put her in S tier alongside Sylvie previously. Because Mako's self-healing plus Sylvie's passive healing means you both get to just walk in a straight line and vibe. The Serenity, being able to just instantly burst heal you, is really nice. Cyclone is really nice for grouping packs and being able to cancel multiple abilities and multiple casts all at the same time. But the problem with Mako is that we're in low contender keys 3 days into the game. Nobody is really, like, ultra comfortable unless you're a turbo tryhard. Which means that if the pressure starts to pile on and you start to crack, you'll forget your combos, press the wrong buttons in the wrong order, and you'll fucking die. Everything will start to go sideways. You'll go, this one, oh fuck, oh my god, I'm lost. Oh shit, what combo am I pressing? Oh, we're dead. That's why she goes in A tier. She is also the other one that I need to gear. I still need to gear Sylvie and Mako. Actually, I don't think I have a Mako build either, so yeah, I need to gear these two. Okay, next. We got 1, 2, 3. Rhyme? Okay, Rhyme's an S tier. My Rhyme build is still the highest DPS I have ever seen on the meters. Whatsoever. Okay, moving on. My Rhyme build is still the highest DPS I have seen in Fellowship. On my own meter, out of every single game I have played in what is now 90 hours. My Avalanche Rhyme clip that I have on the Shorts feed where I hit a 40k DPS window in that little fucking spot there with Nature's Fury is the highest DPS I have seen in all of my keys. The second highest DPS, unironically, is Sylvie's fucking mushrooms. It hit 35k on a pack of rats. Now, of course, it doesn't really mean much across, you know, the fucking long ordeal, but... easiest character to play, by far, in the DPS roster. Genuinely one of the most fun, too. I got nothing bad to say about Rhyme. She is so much fun. The beginner DPS I would suggest for everybody. And I'm gonna play an ungodly amount of her because I love Frost Mage, and Blizzard fucking ruined Frost Mage in Midnight, so I have it here, and I'm very happy. Rhyme is the character that got me to, like, fucking realize how good this game is. She's the character that made it, like, all click for me, and I was like, this is it. This is the game I want to play for the next 2,000 hours. Rhyme was the character that did it. So, she is the reason I love this game so much. Rhyme's a Destrolock. Yeah, Destrolock mixed with Frost Mage, I guess, yeah. But yeah, best character or best DPS in the game, in my opinion. By far, zero question. Absolutely crazy. Pick her if you want to just fucking stonk. Okay, Tariq or Helena? Which one do we want? So we just did Mako. Let's do another DPS. Where do I put Tariq? I think... Oh, I'm kind of visualizing where I have this tier list, and I don't know if it's right or not yet. I think Tariq goes in A tier. I think he goes in A tier. Just having the ability to play a Cycloner again takes him out of mid tier into A tier, and makes me have to fight to not put him in S tier. He is the second highest actual DPS that I've been able to pull, with, I think it was 24k with Cyclone only. And that was with me, like, fucking up my DPS combos, and that was without a eye level 120 weapon, and also without, like, a Cithral's weapon with an active on it. So, he's able to pull off exceptionally good DPS with just Hammerstorm, and I'm going to make a full Hammerstorm build across the board. I already have, and I'm going to take it even further. So, just on fun, the fact I can play a Cycloner again, and overall DPS, my guy makes it into A tier. And there's also a fucking variety of builds. Like, even today, I got told that Chain Lightning is really good. There's a Heavy Strike build you could very easily put together. I'm playing Hammerstorm, like I said. So just that is 3 entirely different subclasses and sub-niches, all within the same character, which is the showcase of the design philosophy that I absolutely fucking adore. Other than that, the bonk noise is pretty funny. A tier. Alright. I don't know. S tier. Oh, it's cool to see how this tier list has changed. Helena consists of the best button in the game, which is Grand Melee. I was told this by a top 100 Sylvie, and then a rank 25 Sylvie, who said that Helena is the best healer in the game. What's up, doggo? I'm getting invaded by a dog. But, they said that Helena was the best... Did I say best healer in the game? Best tank in the game. Because of Grand Melee, which is the ability that makes it so everything is forced to auto-attack you. And then it also makes it so that nothing around you can cast anything, which is why it's absolutely crazy. So this allows you to quite literally stop yourself from instantly dying because of stuff like Ball Lightning, some of the mechanics like, what's it called? Constellation of Ruin. This breaks Constellation of Ruin. Whereas you can't actually stun the mob. You can't stun the mob and you can't kick the mob. But if you use Constellation of Ruin, it forces him to auto attack you and breaks his cast. So it literally goes through things that you're not supposed to be able to stop. Apparently it breaks certain bosses as well and certain interactions, but literally being able to pull absolutely everything and then just pop this and force everything to auto you is crazy. Then on top of that, when you get to the legendaries and stuff, she has a legendary where you can get like damage on thorns damage. Like if you get hit while you have empowered shield slam up, then like you put the shield block up, you deal thorns damage, you force everything to auto attack you, and you get return damage that goes absolutely crazy. You throw in some like percent heal gems, I think she could be fucking hilarious. Mako and Helena are the top 2 tanks in this game, IMO. Yeah, turns out. Fucking turns out. And then after that, Hold the Line is exceptionally good. So the thing is that Helena probably ranks, I'd say mid-tier without talents and without like rewards, but as you go up the ladder, or as you go up the rewards panel, I would say she gets to S tier. Once you get Grand Melee, once you get Hold the Line, and as a healer, you'll be able to tell the difference between a Helena that can't die and one that doesn't have Hold the Line yet. Her lack of sustainability is tough. He doesn't have Hold the Line yet. Okay. Anything else I want to say about her? A lot of build flexibility. Shield Toss does good damage. Fully Specking for it does good damage. I'm playing Shield Slam right now. It's fun. Survivability is decent. You can build for full. You can build for full defense. And survive pretty much everything. Grand Melee is the best button in the game, by far. She's so much shit with it. It's great. Alright, next character. We got... What do we have left? Artios, Ilarion, and Sylvie? Sylvie? I'd say S tier. Yeah. She's still up here. Considering 2 Sylvie, Mako could have literally pulled half the key if we had gear. Yeah. She's an S tier. Like I said, just the fact that I can create a 120 eye level Twink Sylvie that has so much haste that I can Flutterfly the entire team, have the blue Flutterfly on me, and walk in a straight line while being able to keep my entire team alive is worth an unfathomable amount of money I could not give this company. So she's absolutely exceptional. By far the easiest and best healer in the game. And it seems like the way they've done this is like you have the easy one and you have the hard one. Also, she's so much easier than Mako. I didn't even talk about that. Absolutely so much easier. Like sitting here doing Mako combos, my hands hurt and I'm thinking about this and this and this and this and this. I switched over to Helena immediately afterwards and it's like I press shield slam. I throw shield. I charge. That's it. So, yeah, it's a vibe. That's the other reason she gets S tier. So much fucking easier to pull off. And so Sylvie kind of is in the same category where every Sylvie will probably get a lot more value compared to Vigor because she can literally passively heal. You can put all 4 of the Flutterflies on people and then, like, keep the blue one on you and you vibe, you chill. There's a whole bunch of extra things you can do on top of that, like micro the flies and, what is it? Spirit Link at the wrong time to kill the entire team at once. There's a lot of fun stuff she can do. She's just also much better with 0 gear. Like I said, I went straight into a +6 at 0.4 eye level, and we did perfectly fine with no issue. So she is much, much better. And I don't know if that's a me advantage or if that's a Sylvie advantage. Or maybe it's both at the same time. So, she's crazy good. Okay, Artios and Ilarion. I will save you the time. And I will say... Ilarion. And Artios. Now, one thing to say, this tier list will probably be flipped upside down in late game. Like, quite literally, this entire thing will probably flip upside down in late game. Because Mara and Artios both need haste to scale. Oh no, he's not going in yikes. He can do crazy damage. He's exceptionally effective. Okay. Which one do we cover first? Which one do you want to know the opinion on first? You want to know Artios? Okay. Vigor being bad makes Sylvie be even better. Yeah, exactly. Artios is just clunky. Not in my opinion. Artios is fun as fuck. Artios plays like Affliction Warlock, and the thing about Affliction Warlock is they suck dick in low gear. Whereas if you get a bunch of haste, Affliction Warlock starts to get very, very, very busted very quickly. But that being said, that means that when you first start out, so this is going to be like on a season start, Artios is going to suck. Low gear, Artios is going to suck. Low haste, Artios is going to suck. However, when you start to get a lot of haste and you start to understand how to rotate the buffs or the debuffs and whatnot, you line up all the dots and you snap them like 4 times, it is hella satisfying. I absolutely love him. He's so much fun. Like I said, the reason he's in mid tier is because he takes a lot of haste to scale. Whereas Tariq, you can pick up Tariq and you can do a fuckload of damage very, very easily. You can pick up Artios and you can do like max 10k without like a Sithral weapon and some haste. Once you start getting that, then you can start pushing a little bit over. Apocalypse is his best button by far, which applies his AoE dot to everything. But it's on a 60-second cooldown, so you only get it once every like gigapack. And I mean, if Apocalypse was a 30-second cooldown, I'd put him in A tier. Just because he would go absolutely fucking crazy. Like that would mitigate his early game so much because you could reapply everything pack to pack. But that would probably be a little bit too overpowered. Maybe 45 seconds. Something around that. Because I find by the time I've used Apocalypse, we've almost killed the pack in 45 seconds. Then I have like 15-ish where they're pulling more shit. Now I have no Apocalypse. I have to tab through everything. And then by the time I've tabbed through everything, he's pulled more. But then there's like 5 or 6 things. So I should probably Apocalypse those things. But like if I'm wasting the dot on the other guys. But then it kind of like buffs them up and what have you. And also, I don't know if Artios can snapshot. If Artios can snapshot, he goes to A tier immediately. I don't know if that's possible. I'm not gonna nerd out in fucking training tool. If anyone wants to and wants to tell me if he can be snapshot, absolutely tell me, please. He'll be fantastic. F-locks are usually good in the 2-3 target fights, same as Artios. Artios is crazy good in multi, or in like Giga AoE, because you put Searing Blaze on everything with Apocalypse. Yeah, if he didn't have Apocalypse, he would fucking go into Yikes tier. 100%. I think so. At least in the early game. Because Apocalypse makes it so that multi-dotting is actually viable. Because like I'll literally just wait on my mount until the guy finishes his pull. And then drop the Apocalypse underneath everything. And then he'll go off. Okay, so then we end on Ilarion. S tier. This, if I was to pick a main, it would be Ilarion. I fucking adore this guy. I'm an Archer main across the board. I play Ranger in Guild Wars 2. And fucking Archer pretty much anywhere I can. I have 1,000 games of 80 carry. I am top 4% in North America for bot diff. And I play Ashe as a main. Ilarion is multi-shot Ashe mixed with multi-shot Demon Hunter mixed with all of my favorite archers all at the same time. There is a variety of builds for him. There is Highwind Arrow that I haven't played yet, but I have heard is good. There's the multi-shot build that I put together for expertise that is really fun. It seems to work exceptionally well. Reminds me of my days hitting rank 8 Demon Hunter on NA in Diablo 3. Rhyme versus Ilarion. Rhyme wins DPS-wise by about 20k at the moment. The highest Ilarion DPS I've done is like 22. The highest I've seen is like 25. Whereas Rhyme I've hit 40. I think it was 40, 41, somewhere around there. That being said though, I think I can definitely hit something like 30k in certain spots, but I need to land a Sithral weapon, but I haven't been lucky enough to actually get one yet. Even though I've re-rolled multiple blue pieces trying to find one, I've ran Sithral multiple times on him and still haven't landed it. But we're getting there. He's just so much fucking fun to play that I would literally play only Ilarion for 2,000 hours. If I had to. If you took the rest of the roster away from me, he would be the one guy I would play for 2,000 hours. If you turn this game into a roguelike because the servers went down, I'd still play him years from now. The shitting on my RDO. He's rough if Apocalypse doesn't line up. Yeah, exactly. If the Apocalypse lines up, he plays fantastic. If the Apocalypse doesn't line up, you're sitting there multi-dotting. Like, the other shitty part about Ardios is, like, you press Apocalypse, he pulls 2-3 mobs, and you have to tab through everything to go and try and find the fucking frame. Like, if you play with mouse over Searing Blaze, it's probably much, much better. I didn't get to that point. I was playing tab target Searing Blaze, which was a little bit more work than I think my guy required. So that might have been a personal fucking issue. But yeah, I'm looking forward to taking Alarian up the ladder. But Rhyme, by far, best DPS. So, just to recap. Best DPS. Best, no, Grand Melee. Best tank. Best healer. Most fun DPS to me, because I'm an archer main. Absolutely fantastic Cycloner. A lot of fun. Let me change the hammer to a sword or an axe, or give me the fucking next character, please. The next character, I think, if anyone's curious, is supposed to be a tank. I've heard rumors about a scrapped two-handed sword orc. I don't know if that's what it's gonna be or not. It would be really cool to have a two-handed sword tank, and I would play the ever-loving fuck out of it if that was the case. If you give me, like, Garen that can also spin, like, give him another Cyclone. Give the tank another Cyclone. I'll tank. What I think should have happened was that Tariq should have been a tank. Now, the reason I say this is because with what they've done, they've made their own problem. So we launched into early access with 2 new DPS. Okay? When we went open beta, we had Mara. She was completely new. And everyone wanted to play Mara because she was a new character. Which meant all of the people in queue were DPS players in solo queue. Which meant the DPS queue went to the fucking moon. We decided to launch early access with 2 new DPS. I mean, Tariq's not new. He was playable in Steam Next Fest. I did play him all the way back then. But we launched with 2 new DPS. No new healer, when Vigor is statistically the least played character in the game. You can see it by both the leaderboards and the previous stats they released. And then only 2 tanks. If they had turned Tariq into a tank, you have a new tank release, and this spreads the queue enough that you have some new people interested in the new tank, so they wind up playing it, and some new people interested in the new DPS, so they wind up splitting through the queues relatively equally. What's going to instead happen is the next update, they're going to release the new tank as a singular character, and then their queues are going to flip again with a shit ton of tanks, a bunch of DPS, and fucking no healers. And then all of those healers are going to be playing Sylvie, because, like I said, Vigor is the statistically least played character in the game. And in Yikes tier early. So to get Vigor to the point he doesn't suck, he has to not be the least played character in the game. You see why he's in Yikes tier? So, yeah, S tier, S tier, S tier, S tier, A tier, A tier, mid tier because they need haste, and they need talents to scale. You try your best, kiddo. Last I checked, first page on the leaderboard has 2 rhymes and 1 Alarian. Then I'm fucking exactly on point, then. So annoying when you dot everything, then Alarian, volley, and multi-shot the whole pack, dead before you ramp up. Yeah, that too. That's another thing. Like, the rhyme build that I made got, I think, shared on Discord or somewhere, because I was getting a shit ton of external views, and then I started seeing people playing Avalanche Rhyme. And I was like, oh shit, have I done the thing? Have I done the influence? Have I done an influence? And then I was playing Ardios at the time, so every time I would go to start ramping up, they'd drop fucking 4 Comet procs, and I wouldn't be able to do anything. What they need to do is make a tank and a healer at the same time. But yeah, that's exactly what they should do, actually. If they release a tank and a healer at the same time, they'll pad out the fucking queues, and it'll be great. 100%. But, well, they said that there was an unused asset of a sword shield, or of a 2-handed sword warrior that was supposed to be Tariq, and then Hamish wants to make a bard. So if they release a 2-handed sword tank and a bard simultaneously, I will throw my fucking wallet at you. He does his best. But yeah, that is my thoughts on a tier list. Anyone's closing thoughts or closing questions before I call it a day? Hopefully you guys are further in queue now. I don't think there's anything else I really want to say. How's Alarian's single target compared to AoE? Depends what rotation you do. His AoE is exceptional. I mean, the thing about this game is that, like, there really isn't single target. If you think about it, this is the same complaint I had in open beta. You have one target that is single target, and that's the boss. You do your single target rotation for under a minute and a half because you are chain pulling the entire dungeon. Like, my Celestial shot hardly gets fucking pressed sometimes. So most of the time you're pressing high wind to do ricochets, or you're pressing multi-shot from the ricochets. So, on single target, he still does reasonably okay damage. I've done like 12 to 15k, depending. But that's with varying rotations, all with the same build. I still think Ardios is ass. Can you demonstrate how Ardios is not ass? Sure. I don't think I have the talents, but I can try. Yeah, Alarian's a fucking AoE monster. Single target, he's reasonably good. Oh, I don't have my binds set up. Okay, reason he's not ass. You can stack one dot, and then, oh fuck, these aren't my keybinds, but whatever. You can stack one dot, it'll dot everything. You can stack another dot over top of it by clipping it. And then you can land the fire frogs as well immediately afterwards. Stack all the dots on top of everything and blow them all up. So these aren't my binds, so I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, but it looks something like this. You can pre-prep this as it gets lower. As it gets lower into the cast. Frog out. And then from here, you snap everything. Now, like I said, that looks like absolute dog shit. However, it's because I don't have gear and haste. But then the pack is dead, though. Depends. Depends entirely when you use the Apocalypse. If you prep the Apocalypse for the moment the fucking tank stops moving, and you, like, stay on top of him, then you can have the Apocalypse come down immediately, because the Apocalypse and the Fireball will land at the exact same time, and then you can use the Frogs, like, immediately afterwards. Because, like I said, you're clipping the global CD here, so by the time this lands, your Frog GCD is up. So then you press this, and when this goes correctly with talents, and the build that I was running, by the time you've done Apocalypse and Fireball, you're at 3 embers. So then you hit frogs and you just snap 4 times. I can't show you because I don't have it, because, you know, it's not my fucking open beta progress. But my guy can do some crazy fucking damage. And that's, like, without haste gear. Once he starts to get haste gear on top of that, he gets a lot better. His problem is his gameplay outside of his CDs. Oh yeah, when Apocalypse is down, you feel like a fucking monkey. It's a struggle. You're tabbing through things like, I think I can dot this, I think I can dot this, I think I can dot this, I think I can dot this. And then he pulls more, and you're like, oh my god, my hand already hurts. Like, if you don't like spinning plates, you won't like Ardios. But if you like spinning plates, he's got a lot of plates to spin. I want this bow. It looks fucking cool. Like, look at the fucking aura coming off our man here. One thing, though, I will say, I would have preferred if... Oh, okay. This is the final thing that I'll probably end on, then. The only change I would make to this roster, feel free to argue with me about this, is I would just kit swap entirely Ilarion and Mara. Because, I don't know about you, I want a female archer. I don't want a male archer. Don't get me wrong, I kind of like him. He's kind of growing on me. The skin's cool. But I want to play a female archer. I would literally just kit swap. Keep the aesthetic, and we're fucking chilling. Blood Elf male rogue, human female hunter. Feel free to argue with me in the comment section. I would make literal fucking 1-to-1 kit swap. Call it a day.